Hey, welcome back to another episode of CX Riot Radio, where we talk about customer experience and stuff, still in a hyper caffeinated state. I'm your host, David. I'm the caffeinated CXO, and welcome back to CX Riot Radio. Here, we're going to talk, you and I, me and you, about customer experience and stuff. Now, usually we talk about customer experience or contact centers or company culture, and here is no different, right? Now, with things being the way they are and eggs being $10 a dozen, which is fucking crazy, let's talk about maybe keeping things small, inexpensive, lean, and clean, right? So we live in an age, in a year, where cartons of egg whites cost less than a dozen eggs. And that has never been the case in my entire life. So we're going to use that to our advantage. We're going to use that and bulk up on low-calorie protein as an analogy. All right, what analogy is that? Well, it was right there, right? So now I do have some notes this time. I'm not going to go completely off the cuff like I did in the last couple of episodes. So we'll see how it goes. It should be a bit quicker, maybe a little bit cleaner, and I won't have to summarize the entire ramble and rant in a sentence at the very end. So, sorry about that. Mark Hellery of the CX Files. Great podcast. If you ever not listened to it, here's your chance. Go listen to it. Anyway, and still jealous of the name. Such a great name for a CX podcast, the CX Files. I think they should, him and Peter Ryan should, lean in to the X Files thing. But that's just me, and I'm a big X Files fan, so. But anyway, let's start the episode. Without further ado, I'll put a little thingy here. No, I won't. I don't even know why I say that shit. All right, so everyone's trying to build the perfect call center with massive dashboards, AI everything, 10 different software subscriptions, and a stack of processes so thick you need a damn translator to follow them. But, you know what? Complexity is the enemy of speed. Complexity is the antithesis of efficiency. It is the killer of efficiency. And complexity, let's face it, guys. Let's face it, boys and girls. It kills customer experience. Now, as you all know, or should know by now, that this usually the topics and the stuff here comes from someone who is in the home services trades, right? Plumbing, HVAC, electrician, so on and so forth, right? So we're going to talk about that as an example for this lean and mean and clean call center. So, if you're running one of those centers, right, your job at the end of the day is pretty simple. Now, that's not to undersell it. That's not to say it's not easy, right, or that it is easy, because it's not. But it is simple. At least the concept is simple. Answer the fucking phone, book the fucking lead, and do it in a way that makes the customer fucking love you. Everything else is bullshit. You don't need a 27-piece tech stack to be effective. You don't need 5 different platforms to track the same damn metric. You know how many times I've seen that? That's fucking crazy. You don't need eight pieces of equipment or 8 pieces of software to record a fucking call. One, you don't need to be that redundant. If you're so worried about it, download the fucking MP3s and upload them to like Google Drive or something. You get 15 gigs for free, and then you can get like 2 terabytes for like $10 a month. Plus, it comes with unlimited Google Meet. So fuck you. Okay? What you need is the smallest viable stack. The absolute minimum amount of tools and processes that allow your team to be fast, be effective, and deliver great customer service. A lean call center isn't about cutting corners. It's about cutting the right corners. All right? You don't need AI sentiment analysis if your reps can't even handle a basic fucking price objection. All right? You don't need a fancy CRM integration if your team isn't using the very basics of the one you already have. You don't need a 14-step QA process if your team isn't even following the first 3 steps of their call script. Yeah. Strip it down, keep what works, burn the fucking rest. Now, before you take a chainsaw to your operations, let's talk about the other side of this, because there is another side. There's a, as Jocko Willink says, there's a dichotomy to this. If you go too lean, you will bleed. So, when you strip things down too much, you don't have enough coverage, so calls get missed. Somebody calls out, it fucks up your entire operation. Don't be that lean. Your reps don't have the right training, so customer experience drops. Many such cases. Or you rely too much on self-service, where, here's the truth, not that many people, especially when it comes to like plumbing issues and shit, right? Want to spray and pray and book online hoping they get a call back when their house is fucking flooding, right? So you cut the wrong tools, so tracking performance becomes a guessing game. I've worked in plenty of those centers. All right? Lean does not mean reckless. Lean means optimized. You keep what serves the mission and you ruthlessly eliminate what doesn't. But you don't fucking sabotage yourself. So, you might be wondering, you might be, I don't know, you might have like clicked off of this by now. I don't know you. So how do you actually do it? Well, it's actually pretty simple, all right? You just need to have a mindset, one of those mindsets of actually doing it, right? And not being afraid to do it. So, yeah, you're going to hurt some feelings because someone's favorite tool sucks. And everyone's just been nice to them because, you know, I don't know, maybe they're related to the boss or they're the boss's friend's tool or something like that. But in reality, it fucking sucks. So get rid of it, right? Audit your tech stack. If your team isn't using it daily, cut it. If it slows them down, replace it. Simplify your process. 3-step call flows beat 12-step ones every day of the week. Train your people. Train your people. The best process in the world is useless if your reps can't execute it. Measure what matters. Answer rate, booking percentage, average handle time. That's the holy trinity there, because everything else is kind of fluff, right? Yes, you want to have empathy, right? You want to have some semblance of empathy on there. You want to have, you know, you want to build value during the call. But the best way of helping the customer out is putting them on the damn schedule. Everything else, you're spinning your wheels and you're wasting your time. See what the issue is, get the contact information, get them on the schedule, take care of business. Stay adaptable. Run lean, but be ready to add back only what actually improves performance. This takes trial and error. This takes experimentation. Not a lot of people like to experiment. Not enough people like to test things out. Sometimes the best way of knowing what you need is by stripping it down to its bare parts so that it's utterly naked and then dressing it back up until it's comfortable. And nothing more than comfortable. So, running a small, lean call center isn't about being cheap. I mean, let's face it, I am cheap, but that's neither here nor there, right? So for a long time, I smoked GPC cigarettes, which I don't remember what it stands for, but it's like generic product cigarettes, something like that. I don't know what it means, but not because they were good, not because I was cool, but because they were the cheapest ones you could buy that didn't fall apart while you were smoking them, right? Not like high vals or something if you're old and you remember those. No, I am cheap. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about me. It's not about being cheap. It's about being smart. It's about being efficient. It's about being optimized. You're not here to build some overcomplicated, bloated machine. You're here to win. A lean call center books more jobs faster. It delivers better customer experience with less friction. So stop overcomplicating shit. Strip it down, focus on what matters, and execute. And never listen to those people who prod you to overhire, right? So, and I've listened to that advice mostly because my boss told me to do it, and I knew it was wrong, but it is what it is, right? So, schedule based on science. Schedule based on math, not by vibes and not by what feels right, or if we put more people on, they can book more calls. Well, not if you don't increase the call volume. Yeah. So, I mean, it is what it is. It was what it was. It is in the past. But there's nothing shittier than having to lay people off because the person above you who didn't look at the data, didn't look at the facts, didn't look at the science, told you to hire X amount of people in addition to something that was already mathematically sound. So it is what it is. So, and God knows that he wasn't the one that had to pull the trigger and lay off these people. But that was a long time ago. So it is what it is. And I forgive the guy. He's a cool guy. He just didn't know shit about call centers. So run lean, run mean, run clean. The smallest viable tech stack is all you need. You can run a very, very, very efficient, very well running, very well oiled call center with just a couple of things. You need a CRM, you need a phone system that routes and records and pulls metrics, right? So any of them, right? We live in an age where any of them do that. It's not complicated. Some of the reports look different, but you can always pivot them out in Excel and make a dashboard in Excel, which is very easy. I'm going to make a video on that really soon. And so you can do your presentations to your little bossies with just a few things, right? You need a CRM, you need a phone system, and you need like Google Sheets, which is fucking free, or Excel, so which is also pretty much free on the web, right? So you do you, Butterboo. but you don't need much, right? The cost of the call center should come from payroll. It shouldn't come from anything else, or nearly anything else, because you still got to pay for the CRM and shit, right? But the majority should come from staff. It should not come from things. And if you have a center of less than 100 people, you do not need workforce management tools. And I'm sorry to all my workforce management friends, right? All you need is a free Erlang C calculator, your heat map of how many calls per hour on average over such and such a period of time, any predicted call volume spikes, and work in some shrinkage. It's child's play to make a schedule that way. So it is so incredibly easy that, like, it is what it is. After you get past 100 people, though, right? Yeah, get the workforce management tool. And if you're like, big numbers scare you, maybe anything over 50 or 75. Okay? It is what it is. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in to CX Riot Radio. But before I let you go, remember to like, subscribe, review, rate, and share the show so we can make the show grow. I have merch and I have books. They're on the link tree in the description. So go on, do your thing. I love you.